The deal was on, then it was off. This was the reaction in Tel Aviv by some who had hoped that tens of thousands of asylum seekers from Eritrea and Sudan would finally have their legal status resolved. Dejan Mangeza is one of them. He made the dangerous journey from Eritrea in the Horn of Africa alone at the age of 16. He's been here for 6 years and is fluent in Hebrew. He shows us his immigration papers that he needs to renew every 2 months.
First of all, there is racism in this country, and this is a difficult disease, especially amongst the politicians. This we could have dealt with. But then there's the issue that the government takes 20% of the money we make and puts it in a deposit. We can only see this money when we leave the country. This puts huge pressure on us.
The deal would have seen just over 16,000 African asylum seekers resettled in Western countries under the auspices of the United Nations. And in exchange, Israel would process and resolve the status of up to 20,000 others who would remain in the country, something it hasn't done. It would also replace an ultimatum issued by the Israeli government last year: be deported to an unknown African country or face an indefinite time in jail. But activists tell us that even this now cancelled deal, which brought some hope, was flawed.
This is the first time we had a chance to take part, to take responsibility, to share the burden with the world and say, look, it's hard for us, blah, blah, blah. Even though it's not hard, we're benefiting economically. But let's say it's hard for us, we're a Jewish state, we are going to take our share in taking refugees. We are actually, from a modern state, from a democracy state, we're saying, okay, we can't even take care of 60,000. We're throwing them back to the world.
Many of the African asylum seekers we've been speaking to live here in southern Tel Aviv, and they will tell you that there was a short-lived moment of hope. But now it is back to the uncertainty that they have experiencing here for years, and they say they don't know what the Israeli government will do next. These people have been living in a legal limbo for years, under the constant threat of prison or deportation. We're told this is all part of a systematic strategy to force them to leave Israel. Human rights activists say this is an inherently racist policy aimed at preserving the identity of Israel as an exclusively Jewish state. And it appears that a plan that would allow up to 20,000 asylum seekers to stay in Israel and get some form of legal status was something that those in the country's far right didn't tolerate for even half a day. Stephanie Decker, Al Jazeera, Tel Aviv.